going to show you how to import LUTs into your Canon R5 Mark II in just 3 minutes or less. I'll cover what you need to know before using LUTs, what you need to install the LUTs, and then of course how to install and use the LUTs. So with that, let's get started. So there are 2 things you really need to know before you start using LUTs on your Canon R5 Mark II. Number 1, the Canon R5 Mark II only accepts 33 grid LUTs. So if you have a 65 grid LUT, it's not going to work, and you're going to want to make sure you convert that. But I'll cover that on later. And number 2, when you do use a LUT in the camera, it's going to bake that into the file unless you're recording in RAW. So if you want to have the most flexibility in post when it comes to color correction and color grading, then you don't actually want to record with the LUT on. So that's actually what I do, is I'll have the LUT on to preview the image, but then I'll turn it off for recording so that I still retain all the data of the file. With that out of the way, let's get started with what you need to actually install these LUTs. So all you're going to need is the SD card or the CF Express Type B card for your camera, and you're going to want to make sure you already formatted it to the camera. And then of course you're going to need a computer to actually load the LUTs from into the SD card or a CF Express card. Let's go onto the computer now. So take your SD card or the CF Express card and connect it to your computer where you have the LUTs you want to use stored. And then all you're going to do is open up the SD card folder and then drag and drop the LUTs you want to use onto the main folder. Don't put it inside any of the other folders like the DCIM or the XFVC or whatever those other folders that are in there. Now we can simply eject our card and plug it back into our camera. Now in our camera, we're going to go to the red menu and we're going to go to the color profile menu, which I believe is page 4, and we're going to hit edit CP. We're going to make sure the color profile is unprotected, which allows us to actually customize the settings of it. Once you've set that to unprotect, we can scroll down and we should see look file registration. In here, we're going to see the LUTs of the card that the camera reads first. So if you actually use the CF Express card, make sure that's the first card in there. If you use the SD card, you might want to take out your CF Express card because typically it prioritizes that one. But in here, you should see the list of LUTs you imported, and you're just going to select the one you want and hit register. Now we can go back and we're going to go up to look file and hit enable. And that's it. Now you'll see your LUT overlaid your log footage and you won't be staring at some sort of gray desaturated image. Now, if you want to learn how to create custom LUTs for your camera, you can check out my guide that I created right here. If you have any questions or I went through something too quickly, you can leave them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to help you out. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. I appreciate every single one of you who do, and happy shooting. I'll see you in that next video. Peace.